Hey guys, today we'll be discussing this Fizz Buzz lead code based problem. So inside it, let's go to the description. Um, so here we have given an integer n, and it says that we should return a string array, which is answer. And then it also says one indexed, which meaning we have to start from the iteration. We have to start from the first index. Here there are some conditions mentioned. If I is divisible by 3 and 5, that means we should store fizz buzz in the answer. If I is divisible by 3, we should store fizz. If I is divisible by 5, we should store buzz. And if any of these doesn't match, we should store the same number, but as in string format. So let's take the example here. So here the example says n is 3. So meaning if n is equal to 3 means we have to iterate it 3 times, so which is 1, 2 and 3, right? 3 loops. So we take consider this as an I. So on each iteration, so the I value becomes, right? So this for the first iteration I becomes 1. In that case, is I, so I is divisible by 3 and 5. No, so it is not. I is divisible by 3? No. 1 is divisible by 5 here? No. So we just simply push, uh, you know, so let's take a resultant array here, maybe. I'll push 1 here as a string format because any of this condition doesn't match at all. So I am taking the next iteration. So here in this case now I is equal to 2. So in this case 2 is divisible by 3 and 5, false. 2 is divisible by 3, false. 2 is divisible by 5, false. So we push 2 into the resultant array, and then now I becomes 3. So 3 is divisible by 3 and 5, false, because 3 is only divisible by 3 but not 5. And if 3 is divisible by 3, yes, it is. So we push fizz into the array, resultant array. So since we are done here, so the resultant we have to return. So the resultant is matched. Let's try some coding it up. So what we need to return a string array answer. So let's assume we are returning an answer. So it should be an array. So it should be an array. That means we have to create one array. I'm creating an array here. So the next thing is we get n here. So now we have to iterate over the n. So we'll be using a loop. So starting with 1, because it was mentioned that it's a 1 based index. So we have to start with 1, and then I less than or equal to n, and then we have to increment it after each iteration. So now we are looping it out. So now we just have to mention these conditions. So what is the case here? So if I is divisible by both 3 and 5, we have to place that particular I value into the array with fizz buzz. So let me check that first. So if of mm, 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 if of I modulo 3 equal to 0, and I modulo 5 equal to 0, then I am pushing answer dot push fizz buzz, fizz buzz. So if it is not the case, I have to check for the divisible by 3. So I modulo 3 equal to 0. That means I have to push fizz. If not, have to push bus if it is divisible by 5. So properly it should be divisible and the remainder should be 0. Okay. So now answer dot push, that should be bus. So the final case, if all of these three cases are failed, we should return the string, uh, the number and convert it into a string here. Okay, because n is a number here. So we have to do the type testing. So answer dot push of. So now I have to convert the I here. And then once we done over the loop, the answer will be returned. Right? So let's see how it's, yeah, it's accepted. So all of the test cases were passed. Let's submit it. Yep, hope it's submitted.